15 most dangerous animals kept as pets. Forget cats and dogs, these extraordinary creatures break all the rules, yet these deadly animals have all been tamed by their unconventional owners, proving that you can think out of the box when it comes to adopting an animal companion. If you thought your dog had a horrific back, wait until you see these terrifying creatures. There are the 15 most dangerous animals ever kept as pets. Before we proceed, smash the like button, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you get to be notified anytime we upload new content. Okay, let's go. Little boy and his python. Most little boys make friends with puppies or a kitten, but this kid is one of a kind. Sam Bath found himself with a playmate after his mother found a tiny snake in the house in the Sethbo village of Cambodia. She kept the small serpent after a dream about a snake protecting her home. She never ever imagined that the snake would bond with the son the way it did. 3-month-old Sam loved his friend so much that they would hug, cuddle, and even sleep together in his crib. They named the python Chambrion, which means progress in English, and the little boy even learned how to crawl alongside a baby snake that had just started slithering. Before they knew it, the dangerous creature had grown into a 16-foot-long, 220-pound snake, but by then their bond was already unbreakable, and their friendship started to gain attention around the world. Tourists started traveling to check out the friendship between this young boy and the gigantic python. The snake even had its own 7 by 10-foot room complete with a little spirit house where Sam's father prayed that a huge python would keep their family safe. However, it looks like this love story has a tragic ending because this enormous snake bit the boy and the family was forced to give up on it, giving it to the zoo. Russian breakfast with a bear. Most people will run from this being, but this Russian family welcomed this giant brown bear into their home with open arms. Stefan has lived with the Pantelako family for over 25 years after being adopted at just 3 months old. He is a real member of the family. This adorable bear even eats at the table and sits comfortably on the couch to watch his favorite shows. It is completely unusual to live with a bear, but Flick, Yana and Yuri have a real special bond with this wild animal. They found Stefan as a tiny cub orphaned in the woods near Moscow and nursed him back to health, eventually adopting the bear as if it were their own child. The brown bear is totally disciplined and even has officiated at the wedding. Think about it, guys, how cool is it to get wedded by a bear? Stefan is really blessed to have been adopted by his foster parents because he probably wouldn't have survived alone in the wild as a cub. Kojak the Croc. We cannot think of another creature that will make much of an unlikely pet. A crocodile? Come on, that's just insane. This domesticated croc lived like one of the family members in Bogor, West Java, for more than 21 years. Owen and his family described Kojak as one of their grandchildren even though he is 9 feet tall and 900 kilograms in weight. While owning exotic animals is a common occurrence in Indonesia, keeping a giant crocodile as a pet is certainly unusual. This is one of the most unusual couples. They adopted the multiple-toothed reptile when he was just a baby, measuring only 10 centimeters. However, this creature quickly grew up. They fed their pets a whopping 2 kilograms of fish every day, and their human grandchildren even brushed the reptile teeth with no fear of their safety. Looks like Kojak really was domesticated. However, when viral videos of Kojak started circulating online, officials from the Natural Resources Conservation Agency came and took Kojak away, much to the heartbreak of Owen and his family. He was taken to Timam Safari Conservation Park, where he was put on a strict diet considering all the treats he had had at Owen's. Lion's Cub for the grandkids. These pets had a rough start in life. When Palestinian refugee Syed Al-Jamal saw this 2-month-old lion cub at the Rafah Zoo, he fell in love with the captive cats. The zoo had been dented by airstrikes, and so Saad decided to adopt these majestic creatures to take them home to the Al-Shabora refugee camp. This big cat soon became part of the family. They named the female cub Mona and the male one Alex. His grandchildren loved playing with the cubs, and they would run round in the apartment playing fight out in the streets. However, cute little cubs don't stay cute little cubs forever. In no time, these small cubs were starting to grow up and became more and more fearsome. They were becoming a burden, and keeping up with their huge appetite for meat was proving to be expensive. The animal welfare group for paws intervened when Alex and Mona were being kept confined inside and took responsibility for the cats. Turns out lion cubs aren't good pets after all. The Hyena Men. Hyenas are known for being vicious, ruthless scavengers who kill humans in a second. In fact, most communities in Africa will avoid contact with these beasts. However, in some countries, people have learned to live alongside the cackling hyenas, even feeding and petting them. In Ethiopia, humans and hyenas have lived peacefully for 200 years after a rocky history. Many hundred years ago, hyenas used to attack towns where people lived in until the people came up with a smart solution, carving holes in the city walls and threw scraps of meat out to keep the animal at bay. Since then, Yopo, like Abbas Yusuf, have used this technique to feed and train these ferocious hyenas and even attract crowds of tourists. He is even known as a hyena man and he inherited the unusual skill from his father, who also managed to tame these wild beasts in Abuja, Nigeria. There are groups of nomadic people who learn to train the feared hyena as children. They handle the wild dog with no fear, partly due to their unique relationship with hyenas and partly due to a mysterious medicine the hyena men drink for courage and strength. You can even see these guys commanding the deadly animal to sit and actually hugging the hyenas. Messi the mountain lion. Anyone who lives with a cat will know how strong these felines may be. A cat in your house is one thing, but a mountain lion in your apartment is a whole new level. Maria and Alexandra Dimitri adopted their puma after spotting him at the zoo at just 8 months old. They fell in love with the cub and managed to convince zookeepers to let them take him home. Mazi the puma is now a 90-pound fully grown adult and shares a small studio apartment with his new human owners. They even changed their hallway into a lion's den completely with a tree, hiding holes and walls made of bamboo. It looks like Mazi is living his best life. His new owners take him out on walks, feed him on a diet of raw meat, and take him for training sessions 4 times a week. He even has his own Instagram account along with 1.4 million followers. Apparently though, it seems like Mazi isn't accepted by everyone in the family. There are other cat hisses and bats Mazi with his paws if it comes too close. That's one brave kitty. Doc Antle's Tiger Collection. Bogevan may have found international fame when the hit Netflix show Tiger King, but he has been a well-known animal trainer for decades. You may know him best as Doc Antle, the founder of the Institution for Greatly Endangered and Rare Species. With a 50-hectare wildlife reserve in South Africa, Doc has trained over 400 big cats and handles many exotic animals. He raised his first ever tiger cub in 1982, and since then he has made a name for himself in the animal handling committee, and has even worked on films such as Dr. Dolittle. He joined Britney Spears on stage during the MTV VMAs in 2001, where he wrangled his fierce tiger as Spears danced to Return of his Pythons. More recently, Doc was featured in the Tiger King documentary series, which made a couple of wild claims about his wildlife preserve. However, Doc called the show fictional drama more focused on shock value imitation than fact. Doc is now passing down his love for animals to his son Cody, who has been nicknamed the real-life Tarzan. Rare Serval Cat. This couple will never be happy with a regular tabby cat. They are the first people in the UK to have a rare Serval cat, and they even needed a special license to keep this vicious animal. The wild cat has had to stay contained within a secure garden with a high fence and the doors and windows of the house having to remain closed at all times. The Manchester couple feed their cat with about 20 British pounds worth of chicks, mice and even rabbits every week, and it is currently about 3 feet long with room to grow. The exotic pet owners named their wild cat Anabus, and he is the most certainly not the first dangerous pet they've had. They also have a Curvius dwarf caiman, which is a small breed of crocodile. This house is more like a zoo. Their children, who are 4 and 10, aren't frightened at all by these dangerous pets, and Anabus even sleeps in his owner's bed at night. Rex the Water Monitor. This definitely isn't your average pet. In fact, animal experts claim that the water monitor is impossible to domesticate due to their intense aggressiveness and how dangerous they are. The water monitor has been known to crush bones in humans and is also highly venomous. A bite from one of the massive lizards can result in immense bleeding and swelling, and they can even grow 7 feet in length. However, these scary facts didn't put off the owner of this water monitor. She adopted Rex when he was just 2 months old and named him Rex because he looked so much like a terrifying Tyrannosaurus Rex. This long lizard was raised with dogs and dined on an unusual diet of squirrels and rabbits. This huge beast weighs 50 pounds. Well, he may look harmless. Monitor lizards are a growing trend in the United States, with more and more people keeping them as pets. Rex even dresses up as a dragon for Halloween. Will you ever adopt one of these scary reptiles? Let us know in the comment section. Hulk and his dynasty. Meet Hulk, the largest pit bull in the world. This enormous dog weighs a staggering 174 pounds. His proud owners, Marlin and Lisa Greening, are the founders of Dark Dynasty Canines in New Hampshire, and they train their dogs specifically for protection services. When Hulk fathered 8 pit bull puppies, each of them were probable to fetch a whopping $55,000. Oh my, that's one expensive guard pup. Hulk has some serious strong genes and his fantastic qualities are highly coveted. This pit bull dad and his pup live together as a pack without any barriers, and they also are well behaved that they can interact with young children. This gentle, well-balanced family is a precise contrast to how the world often views this misunderstood breed. The pit bull has been bred to fight and attack and has even been known to maul humans. One study even claims that wild pit bulls made up 6% of the dog population, but are actually responsible for 68% of dog attacks. The Lion Whisperer. Kevin Ricketson was nicknamed the Lion Whisperer by a British newspaper back in 2007, and the name seems to have stuck. This big cat lover runs his own wildlife safe haven in Johannesburg, South Africa, and the viral video of Kevin playing with his lions have been viewed more than 25 million times on YouTube. Kevin is a very unique and special individual and has loved lions ever since he first walked at Lion Park in 1998. One day he bonded with two 7-month-old cubs named Tao and Napoleon, and he visited them every day for the next 8 months, forming a long connection that would change the rest of his life. The lions adored Ricketson and is confident to roar and interact with them. Today he has devoted his entire career to opposing the trophy hunting of lions. He has a strict no breeding policy at his wildlife sanctuary. When you look at the way his lions worship Ricketson, you will see that the name Lion Whisperer fits just fine. Travis the chimp goes ape. This household pet was raised in Canada Kid by Sandra Herod, who adopted the wild animal when he was just a little chimpanzee. They did everything together and Travis was like any other child. However, as he reached adulthood, problems started arising. This fully grown chimpanzee was insanely strong, and over the years it seemed as though Travis was starting to question his place in the human world he had been raised in. Hell broke loose when the chimp lashed out one day, committing a horrific attack that left Sandra's friend scared for life. This tragedy took the world by surprise and served as a warning as to how pet chimpanzees really are. Jessica the hippo. Jessica spends her days in the river of Hoedspruit, South Africa, and sleeps in the owner's house by night. She is no regular pet, and this gentle giant is one of the only hippo pets in the world. Hippopotamuses is one of the most dangerous creatures in Africa, and it is estimated that they kill around 500 people every year, and they are extremely territorial. However, Jessica has been raised by her owners Tony and Sheila Joubert as if she was one of the family members. Her calm and graceful nature makes her one of the most unique hippos on earth, and tourists are even invited to join Jessica and her family for feeding time for a small fee. Tony has a background as a park ranger and took the hippo in when her mother was found lying at the border of Kruger Park. Since then, this 2,200-pound hippo has been living a beautiful life at a human family home and putting smiles on thousands of tourist faces. Tyson's Tiger Tyrants. World's famous boxing champion Mike Tyson may be known for his wild behavior, but did you know that he was once notorious for his wild pets? He placed the order for his pet tigers while he was still in prison, and the heavyweight champion even kept them in his house for over a decade. That's one house you wouldn't want to trespass into. However, that seems to be what happens when a woman on Tyson's property was involved in a tragic accident with one of his beloved wild tigers. Tyson claims that he paid out $250,000 as compensation to the uninvited guest, whose hand was severely beaten by the big cat. Since that incident, the boxer has come to realize that these predators cannot be domesticated, and he donated the animals to a sanctuary after 14 years in his keeping. Nowadays, Mike has found a friend in his beloved poodle. That sounds like a much sensible pet, don't you think? Pet buffalo. We have seen all kinds of pets before, but now a buffalo? Jim Southern is famous in his small town of Spruce Grove in Canada for bringing his fluffy friend with him wherever he goes. The enormous creature, who goes by the name of Bali Jr., even joins Jim at the bar for a beer. This 8-pound buffalo is 6 feet tall and 8 feet in length, but Southern swears that he doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body. Jim's wife Linda has bottle-fed him ever since he was a baby, and the oversized buffalo was treated as if he were their own child. This buffalo kind of looks like a great pet. What do you think, guys? So that's it for today. Which of these pets was more dangerous for you? As you comment, don't forget to like, subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button.